everyone. I don't know why I'm so excited for this live today. I'm going to keep it pretty short. I want to make sure I'm also checking Wi-Fi. I'll let a couple people more join. I am currently up in the Highlands of Scotland. I made a quick trip to London where I got to host a little scavenger hunt and then do a little photo shoot for something that's very exciting that's coming out this Friday. And I felt like empowering women and what that means for us and who empowers us and how we can do that moving forward is a really important topic. I think it's also a topic that covers way more than this quick little 20-minute WeChat that I'm going to try to keep it to. But, and my stomach always growls. Now it's dinner time up here, so I go to dinner after this. But yeah, I also wanted to tell a little story. I have everybody's stuff about what makes them feel the most empowered and making sure I have the whole thing written down. Yes. And what empowers you. That I'm going to go over real quick, but I have this, I'm going to just focus. I have this great little story up today. So I'm up in the Highlands of Scotland. It's just me and Kevin's mom. And this is a only girls trip. So it's been a great time getting to spend time with her up here. And I went to the WI get together, the Women's Institute, which, you know, some people, when they heard they were going, they were just like, what? Why? Or, oh boy, you know, and I had the best time. And I just felt like it was so special to have that happen on the same day that I'm doing the live about, I mean, empowering women is going to be one I cover a lot because it's so important to me, but to kind of just touch on it, but to have that happen on the same day that I'm doing this. And I showed up, didn't know what to expect, and was welcomed by, I think it was 12 of us, 12 women, who have lived amazing lives, and we did arts and crafts and sat around chit-chatting and ate biscuits and drank tea, and I felt so welcomed. And even something as little as being empowered to make a little arts and crafts card, which I should show, was so special. Something as simple as that. I made a little card. It's just, yeah, so I just thought that was so special. But getting to have this girls trip with Kath and then getting to do that, so I thought that all kind of tied together with empowering women, because we can empower women in really big ways when they really, really need it, and there's little ways, just women supporting women, to be honest. But I heard that saying not a long time ago, a couple of years ago, that empowered women empower women, and it's always stuck with me. And because it finally was like, oh my gosh, and I viewed that as women that feel empowered and feel secure, safe, and want to feel supportive with other women can empower other women. And it kind of just does this trickle effect of empowered women empower women. And if every woman is empowered, then every woman empowers women. And I just love that saying. And I think it's so beautiful. And I just want us to always make sure that as women, I feel it's kind of our duty as women to make sure that we're constantly empowering other women instead of taking other women down, because I feel like, at least when I was younger, it still happens, is, you know, it just felt like it was more the norm, at least when I was younger. I feel like that has shifted, but I feel like growing up as a kid, I remember reading in magazines and what tabloids did to people publicly and pitting women against women and all that kind of stuff. And I do think that's shifted, but I think it's always good to have a reminder that it's so important to continue to support each other and lift each other up. So I'm going to read some stuff off. Of course, the quote was, empowered women empower women. Thank you guys again for engaging in the question box and for submitting all the stuff you guys did. A lot of people told me when you guys feel the most empowered. I just want to read some of those off. They feel the most empowered when women are supporting each other and raising each other up. I do too. I love that one. They feel the most empowered when they're surrounded by people who hype them up. Similar. When they succeed at university, which was hopefully with other women. I'll stop and go with this a little bit, as I working with Shondaland, which is obviously an entire production company and organization at this point that empowers women through every element of the company, the production company, but it really felt amazing to work for Shondaland Production on Station 19, to be surrounded by women, to work with a ton of female crew members, and to be supported in all my aspirations to direct and to challenge me as an actress too. I've constantly felt supported. So just wanted to say that when someone said succeeding at university, I hope that you're surrounded by a bunch of women, men too. We're not excluding men, but we're not talking about them right now. They get enough talks. But you know, I hope that you're surrounded by a bunch of women that are helping you in the ways that they can, and the ways that you need them to succeed at university. Someone said they feel the most empowered whilst is the word they used, helping children on the autism spectrum achieve their goals at work. That's beautiful. When my friends celebrate my wins as though they're winning too and always show up for me. Yeah, that's a great one. I love that. I get so much joy out of celebrating people's wins. I don't know. It just makes me really happy to see somebody accomplish something they set their mind to. I love it. I feel most empowered when women show up for themselves and others, which is important too. We have to show up for ourselves. When I know my self-worth is when someone feels empowered. It's so great. I'm a huge advocate of self-worth. Knowing our self-worth. It's very hard to say that. Fast, since I talk so fast. Self-worth. When I chose not to give up on something and to finally achieve what I thought I couldn't. That's huge. And I hope you had women around you supporting you in ways, it's not about doing something for someone. It's not about giving someone a handout. It's not about walking someone through every step of the way. It's just giving that little piece of advice, of a nudge, of encouragement that you need. I've had variations of it. I've been grateful and lucky enough to be surrounded by amazing women, whether it was my acting coach when I was younger, who gave me the tools, at this point, she has given me the tools, and I have, she'll forever be like a second mother to me, but I now go on and, I use the tools she gave me. Or Tessa Blake, who was such a huge pivotal part of early on of me directing, on top of many other people, but Tessa was a very pivotal woman who very much gave me the tools on how to break down an episode, and kind of gave it to me in a way that very much worked for my Virgo brain. And I loved that. So just kind of, it sometimes it's just someone that can give you the tools. Other times it's just, that person in your life that goes, you can do that. Because so many times I think we get in our own heads as women, just saying like, I can't do that. I couldn't do that. I thought for years I could never be a director. And look, I directed. And I think what's so amazing is when sometimes you just have that one person that goes, no, you can do that. That's all you need. So I very much encourage people out there to even just tell that person that is talking about an idea. Even if you're like, oof, that might be really tough for them to achieve, or that's going to be a long journey. Just encourage them in the ways you can. Like, you've got this. Let me know how I can help you. Or in what ways can I help you? But really, just sometimes we just need someone to tell us. We don't need them to do it for us, or, to write it down every little step of the way, but we just need someone to tell us that we can do it. It's so essential. And so I just try to encourage everyone out there to just encourage those around them, the women around them that are just have an idea and are excited about something, want to go back to school, don't like their job and want to switch it up. Any of that. Want to leave a not healthy relationship, like just feeling like we each have this power in us to pass on that encouragement to others and that support to other women. And you are brave enough. See, someone said, but they're not brave enough. And you are brave enough. And they're inspired by the smallest achievements, which is celebrating the small wins. Like, it's also important. And celebrating the small wins of our friends around us. I had someone recently, I'll give another story, that what I consider was a huge win, but for them it wasn't. They had gotten this project off the ground, and it's been a long journey, 2 years in the process, and they've been working their butt off, and they've had many ups and downs of not sure if they were going to be able to succeed or not. And they're not at the end of it, but there was a win where they submitted something. They actually, something that was tears in the making, they submitted it. And they're like, no, I'm not going to celebrate until it gets approved and it's a yes and 100% going to go forward. And I was like, no. You need to celebrate the last 2 years that you got to this point, because this is a huge accomplishment. So let's celebrate this. And I encouraged that person to go out and treat themselves. And they bought themselves some shoes and I went with them. And then I got them a little gift along the way. And it was so special. And we still don't know the outcome of that thing that was submitted. But we celebrated that and it was encouraging. And even if the feedback that comes back isn't good and this is the end of the road for this one thing, I think it's just so important to know that like 2 years of something in the making, you achieve that. And I support this person going forward to achieve the next thing. So, I think also making sure that supporting sometimes means showing up for them in ways that go, okay, this is going to be a long journey. I support you in this journey and I want to empower you in the ways I can, but I'm also going to be maybe here to just be your cheerleader that reminds you when there's a win, let's celebrate it. Because it might not be what, they want to pan out, but the fact that they are taking that step. I'm rambling. That was a little story. So anyways, extra advice or that I wanted to put in, that was put in the question box, what was empowerment is about giving people more control over their own lives and choices. That's the key. That's important too. It's interesting because I view empowerment, and that's why I think empowerment or women empowerment it's such an overarching thing. And that's why I wanted to ask you guys what it is for you, because it's about giving people more control over their lives and choices. And I think for me, that was hearing the word, I've been given permission. I didn't need it. Once I realized that, I was like, I didn't need permission to be a director, but I got it, or I felt like I finally had the power to have the permission to go, I can do this. And so it presents itself in different ways. And for me, it was just someone saying, why can't you do that? Something as simple as that. Just saying, of course you can. If you put your mind to something, what I've realized more than anything in life, if you put your mind to something, you can do it. And I've met so many amazing people in this community that are into photography, art, ceramics, everything, going to school to be nurses, directors, writers, novelists. And there's nothing I get more joy out of than actually saying, you can do it. Why can't you? Take the baby steps, one thing at a time. Put your artwork up there, put your photography out there, and just start the process. Start writing, put pen to paper, write that thing. Whatever it is. It's just such a beautiful thing to be able to tell somebody, yes, you can. So empowerment is about giving people more control over their own lives and choices. That's the key. And I think that is very much the key. People you meet who push you to do something you have always been afraid to start is empowering in itself. And that's very true. I think that's sometimes the starting point. Just that's what you need. Some people we all just need a little nudge to go, no, you can do it. And then of course, what I do want to say too, just going about that is like, I do know someone said to me once, they're like, you will, because I was so afraid. I was like, what if I put in all this time and energy and all these people have supported me to direct and I'm just not good at it, or I don't like it? Like, what happens then? And someone was like, well, then you know. But would you rather sit here wondering and maybe regretting never actually trying? And that was even scarier than the idea of like maybe failing essentially. But it was so scary to think I could have all these people that supported me and go through all this time and energy and exhaustion and stress to shoot a short film while trying to shoot it during the pandemic, and then finally after, and then to hope to get an episode and then still be like, am I good at this and do I love this? And thankfully I am good at it and I love it. But yeah, that was scary too. And that's okay. I think it's important to also remind people that even though you're supporting them through it all, if in the end they go, you know what, I want to change my profession, I want to go back to school, I want to do this, and they do it, and then in the end they start a new profession, they're like, no, I don't like this one as much, or I like it, but I want to find a middle ground. It's okay too. But it's the courage to try and being there to support the women in our lives to say, you can do it and go for it. So yeah, another story. It's so important to surround yourself with people who empower you, uplift you, believe in you, and motivate you. And it's so true. I think I talked about it, I can't remember which Wednesday now at this point. they all kind of start to be tied together, but not burnout, but kind of people pleasing, and how, some relationships are not equal. I love surrounding myself with powerful, strong women, or women that we all inspire each other, but sometimes balanced relationship, they're just not balanced. And sometimes you can show up for someone if you're a people pleaser and you want to support them, but maybe they don't support you in return. It's not a reason to not support somebody. Don't get me wrong. I think you should always support women, and I support women regardless if they don't support me. But I do tend to realize, okay, if this isn't a reciprocal relationship where I'm also being kind of uplifted and supported in the ways that I need at times, that I just, I'll always be there for those people. But I also am like, I need to surround myself with women that lift me up. And I have to say, in my late 30s, I'm finally surrounded by women that every single person in my life, I lift them up and they lift me up. And it just feels amazing to kind of have this really strong group of women around me. Or even just meeting new women like today at the WI that lifted me up so much. And I hope I brought a smile to their face and we all just encouraged each other in our crafting of Christmas cards. Anyways, so that was really, really an important one too. Let's see. Okay. Who empowers you is something I also had there. Someone said, my friends, like I just said, we lead such varied lives. It's hard not to be empowered by them, which I love that too. That's also, I feel like, inspired and empowered in a little bit. Like, I love having friends that are different cultures, different backgrounds, just bring something to the table that opens my eyes to so many different things. I feel inspired by them. Whether it's in their creativity and their strength. So it's interesting too, kind of like empowerment, does it also kind of tie into being inspired and what inspires us around the people that we surround ourselves with too? Because I'm very inspired by all the people I surround myself with. Someone said my mom, she's an amazing person who has shown me that what true strength was in hard times, which I love. Our community that we've all built over the past 7 years, the Station 19 fandom. I agree with you very much in that. I think this is such an empowering, positive community that if anyone has not heard me say this a million times, that I'm so grateful to be a part of, which I very much try to reiterate. I am a part of it, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Because like I said, every single one of you, and getting to see so many people on their journeys and their growth, whether it's, like I said, artists, photographers, actors, directors, writers, novelists, clothing designers, entrepreneurs, businesswomen. Like, it's brought me so much joy to see how far everyone has come, and how much everyone has grown in the years that we've all known each other. So I agree with that. Someone said Alicia has inspired and empowered me to put more of my photography onto Instagram. She is quite the inspiration. I'm so proud of her. And I will say that sometimes we're also empowered. The things we do can empower people we don't even realize. And I think that's really important too, is to realize that the stuff, a perfect example is Alicia having the strength and courage to put her stuff out there in a vulnerable position, which can be scary. She's scared. She's really, it's scary and nerve-wracking and stressful. And she's doing it. And just by doing it ourselves, we inspire people that we don't even realize. And I think that's really important to remember too. Because, Catherine Bigelow doesn't know me. But she inspired me to want to be a director. She empowered me by doing it herself, by getting that Oscar, by giving that speech. She inspired and empowered me to go, I can do that. So I think it's also good to know that if you also are doubting yourself, know that by your strength and courage to move forward, you don't even realize the lives you're touching and the women you're empowering just by doing. It's not necessarily, you don't have to go out and always have to push, and tell people and, verbalize it and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just in the act of doing. So just so everyone knows, fans, what empowers them is what you guys said. My best friend, she's been through so much and she hasn't let it dim her light. See, it's like that strength and courage. It really is true. I mean, I will agree with that. All the women in my life that empower me, they do it through the strength they have as well. So that's beautiful. Aw, someone said WeChat Wednesday empowers them. Aw. And it empowers them to empower women in their office who are older than me. I love that. I hope the older women are empowering you as well. They're empowered by the women around me, mostly my girlfriends, friends of my mom, my grandma, teachers, etc. I love that. And I love being empowered by women of all ages. I'm even empowered by younger people, by older people, by like, I love it. I'm so cheesy. I know. I get very cheesy sometimes, but I don't care. I love being cheesy. They are empowered by, someone said, they're girls. They found each other, because of Station 19, and they lift you up every day. So again, that Station 19 fandom and community that really does support each other and puts such a smile on my face. It's very sweet of you guys. I will acknowledge that a lot of you guys said me, which is very sweet of you. I don't know why that makes me somewhat emotional. It was very sweet of you guys to say that. I don't know how to fully accept that, but I will continue to do everything in my power to empower women in my life, women I don't know or haven't met, just by doing. I think it's so important. I think it's important for women to not be competitive with each other. There's enough room for all of us. And we really can support each other and all be successful and strive for what we want in life without having to tear each other down to do that. So I think all of that's extremely important. And I hope that I continue to just empower by having these conversations, by encouraging people and to empower each other, and then to empower ourselves, and hopefully by my actions. I do think that you all empower me as well. And give me the strength and courage to do these lives by every single time someone goes, they're really enjoying them, because this is really nerve-wracking every time. And you empower me by just supporting me in all the ways that I do all these crazy things, and you guys are so supportive of that. So, I wanted to keep it simple today. I'm heading off to a dinner up here with Kath in the Highlands of Scotland. Did I say that right? In the Highlands of Scotland, getting to really just enjoy time with Kath and with family. And like I said, the WI hanging out was just so great today. And I also wanted to bring up how perfect it is this week, that if for anyone that doesn't know, that I'm doing this co-creation, did I say that right? Co-creation collaboration with Fanny from Lulu Kings. And I'm so excited for it to come out on Friday. And I think that's even important, as I've always had anybody who's ever come to me, and Fanny came to me saying, would you want to do a collaboration, a co-creation where we design a line essentially that, that we create together, that speaks to both of us. And we did that, and I'm really excited for that to come out. And I said yes to her because I'm happy to support her. She's always created great products, jackets, mugs, keychains, everything she's ever put out there. I've always been so supportive of, because I'm just so impressed by it. And she's such a businesswoman, and I've grown to appreciate and admire her even more over the time that we've had the last couple months creating this line together, because I got to see her very much business knowledge, attention to detail, passion, and it's been so inspiring to me. So even that is happening this week, and I think it's just so fitting that this is the week that we're talking about empowering women. So I wanted to see real quick before I wanted to end with a quote. But I wanted to talk about that as well. What else? Am I forgetting anything? Let me look and see if there's anything I'm forgetting. Did I know Fanny before? I did not know Fanny before the conventions. I met Fanny. I knew Fanny's work before I met Fanny. Someone said, I saw, I think the first thing was the jacket that someone had got me, the black with the gray, that kind of was similar to the one that Maya was wearing when she met Karina for the first time. And I think if I'm remembering this properly, and that was the jacket. And I was like, oh my God, I love this jacket. Where'd you get this from? And someone's like, oh, Lulu Kings. They sell jackets and beanies and sweaters and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh my God. And then I got a mug, I think was the second thing. And then I finally got to meet Fanny at a convention and at her booth, and we then, taken pictures of each other and communicated and stuff like that. And she reached out to Francis and he put us in touch, and the rest is history. So I didn't know Fanny. I knew Fanny. I'd met Fanny before the collaboration, but I didn't know her as much as I know her now. I just was happy to support what I considered a fantastic company that she's created from scratch, and she does it all, and she busts her butt, and I noticed that. I recognized that, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy. And we took it in steps. I was like, let's try to create it. Let's see. That's why we didn't tell anyone about it at first. We're like, let's see what we come up with, and together we created something that I'm really proud of. Let's see if anyone else. The live on Friday, I'm not sure yet. I've got to figure that out because I'm flying. So I don't know and I don't even know if it's going to be a full live on Friday. Someone just said about that, or if it's just going to be an announcement, and then we'll maybe do a live after it's been out for a couple days, because I am flying that day. Let me see. Sorry. Focus on women empowerment. Hold on. Do you think that in order to be as caring, strong, and attentive to others, you have to love yourself? Yes. I'm a huge advocate of taking care of yourself and loving yourself. I still think you can support each other when you're on that journey of learning to love yourself. But I do think there is an element of when you're safe and secure in who you are as a person, and you're not feeling competitive or in competition with other people, because I think that's what that feels when we don't love ourselves. There might be fueled from a place of, I am comparing myself to this other person, and I'm almost angry that I'm comparing myself to this other person, but I'm angry that they have something that I am wanting or think is better than what I have. And it breeds this kind of negative outlook on things, where then you're kind of like, well, that person has what I want, or that person makes me feel bad about what I have or who I am. So therefore, I don't want to support that person. So I do think learning to accept who you are as a person and love yourself for all the things about you that you may not consider, perfect or normal or whatever. I think that really does fuel your ability to empower other women. And that's why that kind of statement of empower women. If you can learn to love yourself, accept yourself for who you are, it's much easier to empower women. I still think you can empower women even if you're on that journey, but it definitely becomes easier when we really embrace who we are and learn to love all of our quirks. Like, I'm a cheesy person. Some people find it really corny. I can't help myself. I cry at Great British Bake Off every time. I smile, probably too much. But, let's see. Sorry, it kind of moves very fast. Someone said that their coach helped them get second place in the rhythmic gymnastics finals because they motivated and helped me enough. Yep, motivation's a huge one. Let's see. Everyone loves that I'm in Scotland right now. I know it was a little treat because I flew into London. I said I'm going up to Scotland. Just me, myself, and I. Okay, I think that's everything I'm seeing. I mean, tons of stuff I'm seeing. Let's see. Her 14-year-old sister empowers her. That's amazing. Miss Nicole Lynn, she says, I run a nonprofit that mentors and empowers Black girls in Los Angeles at USC. If you can post that in the comments, I mean, it's always great to put that out there, what the name of that nonprofit is. Include that so anyone that's on here can see that. Hold on. Congratulations. I'm seeing a lot of people that are also saying the things that they've done out of bravery and they had the courage to switch up careers and get the help they needed in certain ways. someone said, which is a whole different conversation, but someone said, do men hinder women's progress? And that's a whole different conversation, because I've had a lot of men that have empowered me as well throughout my career. But yeah, I think anyone, men and women, can hinder women, other women. I think anyone can hinder anyone of any sex. You know, and that's scary, because people have a lot of power over what we do in our lives. I think more power than they realize. And that one negative comment in high school, that one teacher that just made you feel like you couldn't succeed or do the thing, can have a horrible effect on our outlook as well. So just as much as one single "you can do it" to someone can help, also the opposite can have damaging effects. So if you do hear, also I want to say as well, if you hear somebody that's been told they can't do something, or you heard someone tell someone, try to be the person that actually tells them the opposite. Don't listen to them. You can. I believe you can. I believe in you. So I think that that's really important. And I want to also say, I admire so much because, and it wasn't a female teacher, it was actually a male teacher that I had, Mr. Johnston, who made me believe I could be good at math. I, for the longest time, was like, I'm horrible at math. I'm never gonna be able to figure it out. And he took the time before school. He said, if you want to get better at math, come just every day before school, come early and I'll tutor you before school starts. And I did. And Mr. Johnson got me to a point where I was really good. I'm really good at math now. So sometimes it's just that's that person. I'm loving this though. I'm loving that so many people are responding with people that empower them or people they've empowered, and their stories. And it just gives me so much faith and love in the world that like we can continue to empower each other. So continue to do it and continue to put it out there in the world. Know that your strength and your courage to like move forward with the things that you want to do in life does really make a difference, even for little girls. You know, I constantly have a little 6-year-old around me now, and I realize that I'm very much a representation of what she can do. And I tell her constantly, she loves makeup. Guess what? I tell her you can be a makeup artist, you can run a makeup company, you can start a makeup brand if that's what you love. I will never tell her she can't do something she puts her mind to. And I think it's important, even if in the back of your mind, I mean, I think she could, but even if someone comes to you and says they want to do something and you're like, ooh, I don't know if you can do that. Don't tell them that. Just tell them they can do it. Let people discover it if it is something that they, in the end, feel it is not right for them. Let people go on that journey. Don't stop it before they've even been given a chance. So I just think that's so important. And I'm going to stop with my little speech. Thank you guys, everyone, for all of your comments, the stuff you included in the boxes, the things that empower you. I just want you guys to know every day that you guys empower me so much to continue with WeChat Wednesdays, to direct, to continue to act, to do everything. You are such an inspiration and you empower me so much. So I want to say thank you to all of you. I hope I'm doing my best in returning that empowerment back to you. And I hope everyone goes forward in their day, whether it's the start of the day or you go to bed now, finding ways to just put that out into the world. So yeah, it feels so weird to end this one because it's such a beautiful, I think, subject matter, but I will, and I'm going to have to because I'm going to dinner now. But I'm going to leave with a quote. Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We're strongest when we cheer each other on. And that was said by Serena Williams. And I think it's beautiful and simple, and we should all take that so to heart. So anyways, go out there in the world and continue to be your badass selves and empower women in any way you can. And I will continue to do the same. Yeah, I think that's everything. Much love. Have a great night or day, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you maybe before next Wednesday, but definitely next Wednesday. Okay. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.